Welcome to the Steelers Realm Podcast. And now, here are the boys of Steelers Realm.
Hey, Steeler Nation, we are the boys of Steelers Realm Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, JT, joined again with this tonight's trio of our across the PA border into Ohio country, in the heart of Browns country. Speaking of which, anyhow, it's the famous TA back on the home front. What's going on, brother? Good to be back with you.
You too, JT. I'm glad you had a little time off, recharge the batteries, but I am ready to start talking football. I've had 3 days to go ahead and calm down, think about some things. I'm a little bit better than I was a couple of days ago, and I'm even so good, JT. I've even went ahead and decided to go see the game tomorrow night. So I'm a glutton for punishment.
Nice. Well, you're close there. Speaking of being in Ohio, Van Freight Train joining us again. Good to be back with you again, too, brother.
The boys are back in town.
The boys are back in town. Boys are back in town.
Hey, glad to be with you guys. I finally moved on from last week's debacle. No longer living in the past. I'm ready for this one.
Yeah, man. And you know, I'm ready to get into this one too. Short week, a lot going on with that. But you know, hey, I'm just gonna say this early on. Let's just calm down. We're going into our third game. Let's just focus on the Browns, and you know, we'll see where it goes from there. Everybody should have expected some rust and some time. So I'm not making excuses, but just a thought. Let's move on. I'm excited. I'm excited this week. I'm pessimistically excited. But anyhow, let's get into it, man. Game's Thursday night. You guys know that, right? Now, I don't know how last Thursday night's game went, but apparently their first Thursday night game didn't go so well. A lot of people were pissed about that. But anyhow, you can catch that on Prime Time on Amazon Prime. It's the only place you can catch it. But I was trying to double check this. Pittsburgh, WPXI, that's an NBC affiliate. Is that correct?
Yeah,
So
from what?
Locally
Yeah,
too?
I don't know. I live in Ohio, JT. That'd be a question for you.
No, from what the Steelers are saying, man, they're going to go ahead and televise this now. What I'm thinking how this Prime thing's working is if you're in the local market, you're going to get the local game. If you're not in the local market, you have to have Prime.
That makes sense. You got Prime? Freight Train?
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of my wife's favorite inventions.
Yeah. Gotta have Prime, man.
We single-handedly keep them in business.
Yeah, you and me both. Yeah, man. So that's how you watch it. We got Al Michaels again. Al Michaels.
This is the first time, buddy.
Yeah, the first time. You know, I was thinking about our guys from the last 2 weeks. So I guess Al Michaels, that's a good change of pace. Kirk Herbstreit be in the booth with for the game, and then Kaylee Hartung be the sideline reporter too. So don't forget, you can catch our man Bill Hillgrove on the Steelers Radio Network, both on the Steelers app, doing play-by-play. Craig Wolfley is color guy, Missy Matthews, and then also Max Starks on the sideline on that call too. So you can catch that on the app, Steelers.com. If you're in 412 area code, catch WDVE 102.5. And then if you're in Indiana County in the 724 area code, you can catch it on WDAD 1450 AM or 100.3 on the FM dial. I'll get it. But anyhow, decent day, cloudy, 65 degrees. A little bit of a wind chill off the lake, 56 degrees. with some considerable winds, though, 18 mile an hour.
TA, you better bring a parka.
That could affect the kicking game.
Ooh.
Hey, absolutely. You never know what you're going to get off that lakefront.
I'm telling you. Hey, I've been up there fishing before and doing some steelhead fishing, and we got hit by some lake effect snow. Pretty crazy. But anyhow, yeah, versus the Browns, Steelers lead 79-61 with the tie plus the tie. And we swept them last year. Kind of hard to remember that in a way. But anyhow, at 1-1, we're coming off at unexcusable loss to the Patriots 17-14. And then go ahead, T.
It was lethargic.
Yeah. That's a great word. Lethargic. Yeah. That was. And then the Browns blew a 30-17 lead to the Jets with under 2 minutes to play.
Yeah.
So
now that wasn't lethargic. That was mind blowing.
Yeah, and that was one of our former arch nemesis. Was it Joe Flacco?
Hey,
yes,
I've been telling everybody, Flacco's this year's Fitz magic, man. Look for Flacco to do some exciting things this year.
Flacco's gone wacko.
I guess so, man. But hey, I don't really know what to read into that going into this game. But I know we'll get into some things to look out for, players to watch out for, and our thoughts on the game and so forth. But before we do that, we've introduced a new segment, our social media. Well, we can reintroduce it, I guess. Our social media crap bag of the week segment, which I love it. Why don't you guys take that away? Who's the crap bag of the week, FT?
Just when I thought that our offense couldn't get any more chopped and screwed, we find out that 6-year veteran Mitch Trubisky is unable to call audibles at the line of scrimmage. Are you kidding me? The guy's a 6-year veteran, and you can't take the training wheels off him and allow him to call audibles at the line of scrimmage?
Hey,
Because
evidently that Canada playbook is so big, there's not enough room on the forearm sleeve, buddy.
Oh my gosh.
Got to wear two.
I tell you, I have more confidence in Mitch Trubisky being able to audible in the right play call than I do Matt Canada. And that's saying something, because we're only 2 games in with Trubisky.
So what is this? Is this a trust issue with the organization?
I think it's just Matt Canada trying to take control and try to prove people wrong, and he's doing the complete opposite. He's proving people right.
Yeah.
By his terrible offense. I don't even want to call it an offense. It's not an offense. It doesn't produce anything.
Well,
it's offensive to watch. How about that?
Oh, man. Hey, did you guys see where Ben has a podcast now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he actually chimed in on this as well, too. So interesting to get his take on it. Kind of took Mitch's side of things. That's how I took it.
Yeah, the quarterback has the best eyes on the field to know what the heck's going on. Matt Canada's not out there.
Well, and the thing that gets me about this is
he's up high. He can see it all from up there, dude. Don't you know that?
Yeah, I think he needs glasses, because here's the thing. We hear it from Tomlin all the time. Well, we played at JV level, or we played at a varsity level. Well, this is professional football, and you're telling me you can't have your quarterback call an audible? This isn't varsity Friday night under lights. This is the professional level. That needs to be rectified ASAP if we're going anywhere this year.
Yeah, I agree. No doubt. Well, it remains to be seen. But anyhow, we're getting into the game here. We got any numbers to share by the numbers this week, TA?
Oh, absolutely. We're going to rattle these off real quick, because some of these are a doozy, JT. I'm kind of excited to go through these. So right now we are plus 700. Steelers odds to win the AFC North. So basically they're saying we're finishing in the basement. 182. 182. That's right. That's the combined receiving yards through 2 games for Deontay, Chase, and George Pickens. That is pathetic.
Unacceptable.
Absolutely
Unacceptable.
unacceptable.
Wow. 2 games.
119. That's the number of offensive plays the Steelers have run this year. It ranks 26th in the league. But not to put too much stock in that, JT, because the Bengals lead the league with 161 plays and are 0-2. So I'm not quite sure what to gather from that. Next stat up, 92. The Steelers have 92 victories in prime time and are the second most since the 1970 merger.
Nice.
42 of them were road victories and makes them second in the NFL as well. So that kind of bodes well for us going into tomorrow night's game. But here you go. This is another disturbing one. 30. The 2022 Pittsburgh Steelers have scored a whole whopping 30 points thus this far this year. Now, to put this into perspective, JT, the Dolphins scored 28 last week in the fourth quarter alone.
That's crazy.
Now, this one here's kind of a little bit crazy as well, too. 22.41. The Steelers' offense is averaging 22.41 yards per drive. They are comfortably the worst in the NFL through 2 games. 22.41 yards. You're not scoring any touchdowns doing that.
No.
However,
2 first downs and you're done.
right. If we're lucky. Now, let's even look at this though. This is promising. The number 7. The Steelers' O-line, believe it or not, has only allowed 7 pressures as a unit thus far this season. That is 12.8% of the dropbacks, third lowest in the league. Now, I'll go ahead, Freight Train. I know you want to jump all over this because you just can't understand how that stat is even there, can you?
I don't understand. I think that number is skewed with an asterisk because Mitch Trubisky doesn't stay in the pocket very long. If he was a pocket passer, that number would be astronomically higher.
Well, now think about this. Last week you said, hey, he needs to roll out more. And now you're telling me he's always rolling out and out of the pocket. I'm not quite sure which one it is yet, but we're going to come back to that, Freight Train. Now, 7-7. Mike Tomlin is 7-7 on games played with 3 days of rest. We're 5-1 at home and 2-6 on the road. That doesn't bode well for us. But to finalize this on a very good note, the number tonight is 6 because that's the amount of Steelers that have been nominated for this year's Pro Football Hall of Fame class of 2023. And I'd like to give a shout out to Hines Ward, Big Snacks, Casey Hampton, Chad Brown, James Ferrier, James Harrison, and the guy who used to be dead on for us, Gary Anderson. Hope one of those guys make it to the finals.
Yeah, let's hope so.
And that's your numbers.
Been pulling. Yep. So we'll own it. We'll own it sooner or later. Hey, I got to give a shout out to Zach. Thanks for joining, Zach. Burrow Mad, Canada, and that's it. Let's talk about what good. Just I don't know if this popped up just today. And thanks for those numbers. That's cool stuff. TA. Damonte Kazee. Suspended 3 games.
Not Kazoo.
Kazoo.
He's
Kazun for 3 games. Substance abuse. They put him on. He was already on injured reserve, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
So that means he can't come back till week 5. So it only results in him missing a maximum of 1 additional game. So we got lucky there, I guess.
Yeah,
is that right?
Absolutely, it's right. It kind of makes you wonder how the suspension in IR really, really works. But hey, you know what? We'll take it. I guess it just means that you're allowed to go ahead and smoke a little marijuana while you're injured to help you heal.
Well, what the hell?
If we catch it early enough, it's not going to interfere with your IR or your game suspended.
It's a win-win.
You think
It's a win-win.
you think they knew that going into the IR?
I
It's a good question.
Who knows?
I don't know.
Who knows?
But I thought they slacked off on the weed thing.
They have. I
Mhm.
don't think weed is their high priority right now. I think it's still more of the human
Yeah,
growth hormones.
Right.
Yep.
I think so too. So some signings too. Who did we sign this week? Can't keep up with it. Seems like every week we get new players added to this squad or that squad.
We're definitely still trying to find our identity. That is for sure. So yeah, we ended up releasing cornerback Mark Gilbert this week, and we picked up former Colts cornerback Quincy Wilson and signed another receiver, Jaquani Robertson. Now I'm not quite sure why we needed another wide receiver. We're not throwing to the ones we got.
Yeah. Yeah.
Isn't that the truth?
Maybe they're slinging it in the practice squad. Who knows?
Maybe I don't know. But hey, we picked up a linebacker from Tennessee last week too. I'm sure you guys probably
Correct.
talked about that.
We did. We brought him up last week, and
Right to
they
the
signed him on
53 man.
right, but they kicked him back down to the practice squad, and they brought up Delonte Scott this week. So we're going to see a little bit of Delonte. They brought up Delonte last week, actually, but yeah, Scott's up. He's down. Stock up, stock down.
Just continual motion. Dynamic. Practice squad should be the dynamic squad.
Keeping things fluid.
Fluid. That's it. FT, what other news? Steelers news in the realm this week, huh?
I tell you what, this one actually rubs me the wrong way. So Joe Hayden has decided to announce his retirement, and he's going to sign a 1-day contract to retire as a Cleveland Brown. Okay. I don't have a problem with that. Okay. That's what you want to do. Do you, boo-boo. But don't do it when we're playing each other. Like that, I'm taking this as a slap in the face. Hey, Pittsburgh, thanks for taking a flyer on me. We had some good times together, but I'm going back with the X. Okay.
Now I got a
Why
question.
couldn't you do this next week? Hell, you could have done it when they blew the lead against the Jets. Why do you have to do it this exact game? This seems
Because
pre-planned.
He gets to see his friends on both sides of the ball.
We're divorced. We're not friends anymore. We're divorced. Joe, you're as good as gone.
Well, he'll be in the hall someday as Cleveland Brown.
Yeah, good for him.
Yeah, for when I heard that, I was on my way to work this morning, heard it on local sports talk. I was like, "What?" And then when he said he will sign and become a player on, and then I thought he was going to sign with the Steelers.
Yeah.
And then he's like with the Browns. I'm like, "Oh man, seriously, really?"
Yeah. Well, and the most irritating part is I wish Joe could know all the crap talk that the Cleveland Browns talked about him when he was there and when he came to Pittsburgh. Oh, it's Joe Hayden. He can't stay healthy. He's done. He's a walking IR report,
That's
injury report.
sour grapes.
Comes over here, we embrace him. We loved him. He was probably our favorite cornerback. Just to turn around and rub it in our face.
Well, let's put it this way: bringing Joe back actually turned around our secondary, because prior to that, our secondary was worse than a sieve. So, for that, I'm grateful for Joe. I understand why he went back with Cleveland. And when you look back on his career freight train, in all reality, he had his best 7 years with Cleveland. And yes, they did slight him, but as the old saying goes, every time I say this is a business, you tell me it's a game. Every time I say it's a game, you tell me it's a business. And at the end of the day, he did have more years with the Browns than he did with Steelers. So congratulations, Joe.
That's
man.
not the part that I had a problem with. That's not the part that I have a problem with.
You are jolted, ain't you? Holy smokes.
It really ticks me off.
I can tell that, buddy. Tell us how you really feel.
Joe, go have fun being a sneakerhead and go along with your shoe fetish in Cleveland. We're done with you.
Wow. Sayonara. Sayonara,
Adios.
Joe.
Hasta la vista.
Oh man. Well, hey, short week. What's it looking like health wise? I mean,
Well,
it's from what
the
I heard through the week, it looks pretty good in Steelers side of the ball. But anyhow, I don't want to steal your thunder. It's now time for TA's ambulance report. Woo, 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 woo.
Whoop, whoop.
Actually, the ambulance report don't look that bad for us going into week 3. You got Minka. He probably didn't drink enough pickle juice before practice, and he had a little bit of leg cramps. I mean, that's what happens when you're out there ball hawking and jumping and stealing balls and running them back for touchdowns, but he'll be playing. And Devin Bush, his little foot injury that he probably stubbed his big toe on there last week, he's back to full practice. So, in all reality, we're as healthy gets. Now, the Browns, on the other hand, here's where we kind of need to take a little bit of advantage. The one guy who will not be playing and is listed out is Jadeveon Clowney. We don't have to see that clown with the Browns.
Is he
so that's
Italian?
a good thing. Who, Giovanni? Clowney?
Giovanni?
Giovanni.
Jadeveon.
Davion?
Jadeveon. The clown for the Browns. He out. He gone. Now, they do got some offensive guys that have come back, and it's 2 of them that we're probably going to need to watch out for, because the one thing I will say about the Browns, they probably have one of the top 5 offensive lines in the NFL, and they have a huge injection with Jack Conklin coming back and Joel Bittanino. He is Italian. Now, the one that's really interesting right now is Myles Garrett. Seems like he's in week 3 and he's nursing a little bit of a neck injury. Evidently, he's been keeping his head on a swivel too much. So that may be good for us. Other than that, the rest of them, I'm not really too worried about. It is what it is. It's week 3. Let's just play ball.
Play ball.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Well, hey, let's hope we're going to need help. Let's put it that way. We're going to need help. But who would Clowney have been over? Just out of curiosity.
He would have been on
James Daniels.
James Daniels and Chooks.
Well, maybe that's an area that we can take advantage of. Hopefully,
You like maybe open up a hole and run the ball?
That's pretty much been our best side.
a few running yards. Well, yeah. Well, there you go. There you go. But
Take it with a grain of salt, but
we were talking about Joe Hayden, and I want to give a shout out to our buddy who was probably hanging out with Ray Seals, his tailgate party this past weekend. But one of the things he did was he created a new painting for Joe. It was designed for Joe Hayden when we thought he was going to retire as a Steeler. But anyhow, it's one of our buddies, Pittsburgh sports artist Willie Hobbs, donated a couple prints, and you can check out his work at mytimeyourtime.com. Address is right here, and it'll be in the link on the podcast. My Time, Your Time. The last Your Time is spelled UR Time, TIME. So check that out. Willie Hobbs, some great stuff in there. You can subscribe and have access to all of his art for an entire year. So check our man out there, definitely. And then we got something else going on weekly now. I know CJ's been working on. What's the scoop with that?
Okay, that's enough dead air. I don't know.
A new blog spot.
Well, tell us about it. Don't leave us in suspense. Is this a tease? I mean, quit being a
my
tease.
job.
I mean, are you on a poll or what? Come on, help us out here.
Job. Check out our blogs. Always something new coming out on that. So I'll just kind of ad-lib that one since nobody wanted to grab that. Normally that's CJ's spot, but anyhow, yeah, check it out. SteelersRealm.com/blog for our latest blogs. And we even throw in a few clinkers there as well, too. I know CJ always comes up with something for us.
The dropped baller alert.
There it is. The dropped baller alert. It's in there somewhere. So anyhow, well, let's turn the let's switch fields here. So obviously, this is my biggest fear. Looking at this offense that Cleveland has. So, starting with Nick Chubb, TA, is he going to damage us? Is he going to run all over us? What's the scoop, man? Are we going to be able to stop him?
Hey, we got to stop him. I mean, we got lucky last year and we contained that run in attack last year. We really, truly did. But let's face it, Chubb is a one-man wrecking crew. There's not another running back in the NFL right now that can run the ball like Chubb can. Whether there's a hole, no hole, Chubb is a beast. One-man wrecking crew. I mean, it
Mhm.
would not surprise me if he racked up 200 yards against us. Now, the good news to all of this is we do have a healthy defensive line. Missing TJ should not necessarily hurt us in the run, but man, everybody's got to play gap containment. We
Well, and you
cannot be caught with our pants down.
no, and you cannot arm tackle Nick Chubb. You got to wrap him up, and it may take a couple players at a time to bring him down because he's got quads the size of Cleveland. He's a bruiser. He will wear you down. And on top of that, his career average, I want to say, is like 4 yards a carry, which is unheard of.
For career average.
Career average is over 4 yards a carry.
Well, and if he was the only threat in the running game, that'd be one thing. But no, they have a two-headed monster with Kareem Hunt.
But wait, there's more.
Yeah.
Well, Kareem Hunt is just as much of a bruiser. He is an angry runner. When you think you got him down, you don't. And on top of that, he has some of the best hands at the running back position in the league. He makes plays in the passing game. You got to watch out for him. He's a sneaky player. And here's a stat. This is why changing or dominating in the run game here is what we should focus on, because Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, they've scored 54% of the team's points so far this season.
Wow.
And on top of that, they have 51% of the gains at the line of scrimmage for the Browns this year.
Interesting stat.
51% of the yards.
Hey, let's face it. That game last week against the Jets was all run. I mean, in the first two games alone, between those two men, they've got 401 yards rushing in 2 games alone. If we have any chance of winning this game, we have to stop the run and make them one-dimensional and make Jacoby beat us.
Mm-hmm.
And if he's going to beat us, the cat he's going to go to is going to be the off-season darling that they picked up, Amari Cooper, because they acquired him in the trade from Dallas. He's right now their leading receivers in front of Peoples-Jones, and Peoples-Jones is no slack either. Let's make sure we keep that. But what really concerns me, if they get that passing game open, is Cleveland's got a couple of good tight ends, man. They really, truly do. And that could play a key role or matchup against our inside linebackers. And we already know we've had problems with crossing routes. I mean, this defense has to have its head on a swivel. We have to play containment. We just cannot afford the big games. We just can't. We
No.
have to concentrate on 3 and out. And when we have a 3 and 8 or a 3 and 17 or a 3 and 20, we cannot allow them the first down. That's got to come to a stop.
Yeah, absolutely. Keep them in front of you.
Yeah.
Don't let anybody get in between you.
So, obviously, so what's Brissett's stats like so far? I mean, is he really, is he really a threat, or is that obviously that's what we gotta watch out for?
I
Is the
mean,
running game and
It all depends. It takes him a while to get kind of warmed up and going.
Mhm.
I mean, he's been an NFL quarterback for a while. He's got a 65% completion rating. I mean, this year alone, he's got 376 yards passing. He's averaging about 6.2 yards. Kind of sounds like another quarterback we
Mm,
have.
yeah.
What's his name?
Yeah.
Mitch Trubisky. I mean,
Mhm.
so, he's only thrown one interception. He's a game manager as well. And that's really all the Browns want him to do.
Mhm.
They
That's right.
want him to manage the game until they can get Deshaun back in week 11.
Yeah.
True.
They're gonna ride that run game for as long as they can, and just Jacoby's job is to just not turn the ball over.
Yep. Yep. Agree. And, on the other side of the ball, Mitch has to do the same thing. But he's going to have some challenges too, even with sporting a sore neck. Our boy Miles Garrett, he's going to have to watch out for, certainly.
Mm.
Oh,
I'm
absolutely.
not really scared of Miles.
You're not scared of Miles? Why are you not scared of
No.
Miles? You don't think he's
I
going to
think
pull
we've done
somebody's helmet off and start swinging at him?
well. Hey, him and Mason have made amends. They've already played each other. Nothing crazy happened afterwards. They're buddies now. Okay. But since Miles Garrett came in the league in 2017. Okay. He only has 20 tackles against us and 6 sacks. And 3 of those sacks came in his first year.
Well,
Yeah.
and
Go ahead, TA.
I was just going to say, you're absolutely right. We have done a good job of containing him. And even Dan Moore last year held him in 2 games to 1 sack, 5 tackles, and 4 QB hits. That was in 2 games. A rookie did that.
Mhm.
Now, Dan, surprisingly or not, is kind of leading as far as I think he's like second in tackles right now in pass protection. So he's got to have a good game and he's got to keep his eyes on Miles. The thing is with Miles, though, they normally shuffle him around on that line. But the interesting thing is last year, they didn't shuffle him around with us. They kept him lined up against that rookie. I'm wondering if this year we don't see him move around the line because we have an offensive line yet that's still trying to gel.
Well, and Clowney's out, his
And
running
Clown is
partner.
out.
So that could have a little bit to do with that. But hey, with Matt Canada's offense, we're getting the ball out of there in less than 2 seconds anyway, so you don't even have time to sack anybody.
At negatory
So-
2.6. He's still slower than Ben.
Hey, shout out to Shane. Yeah, he went speaking of Canada. Even Snoop Dogg said Canada has to go. Did you catch that? Thanks, Shane.
Hey, look, I'm not going to get on Canada yet because that is just a sore subject right now, Shane, and he thinks he's got it under control. Let's see what Canada's going to dial up because one of the people, if we do open this up, if we open up this passing game, like everybody's saying we've got to. Now, I don't know how we're going to open it up. We only had 3 days of rest, 1 day of practice. Hey, you're not practicing that much to open up the passing game. You've got to keep your eye on Denzel Ward because Denzel Ward has killed us time and time again in the past. And if we're not paying attention, and that was when we had, what was that guy's name? Mason and Duck. Ben was used to that.
Yeah.
Mitch, I don't think has seen Denzel Ward. So he might not have that same respect that Ben did. That's a cat in that secondary we've got to keep our eye open on.
Mhm.
Well, I'm not sure Mitch saw number 14 on the field last week either, but hey,
Number 14. We have a number 14?
apparently we do.
Really?
Yeah.
What's his name?
Yeah, he was blowing
Is
it
he
up.
the kicker? No, that's Boz. Boz is like 3 or 4 or 6 or 7. I don't know. Who's 14,
6.
JT?
Yeah, you don't know?
No, I don't know. Is
He's
he a
one
new
of our-
guy?
He's
Was
one
he
of
on the
our new
practice squad?
guys. Yes. No, he's on the roster.
He's on the roster. Tell us
George.
more about him. You
Guy
got my curiosity.
It's number 14. Look it up.
Look it up. Number 14.
Look it up.
Is you sure he's not a quarterback?
I don't know. Maybe he is, TA.
Is it Boykins?
Okay.
I mean, I don't know.
Come on, hit your receivers, man. Number 11, number 18, number 14. Let's hit them. Let's look for them. How many pictures have you seen in social media of like a big red circle where there's George Pickens down the field, 5 yards wide open, and where's everybody else looking at?
The primary read.
A dump off.
And that's the thing. You've seen it all week. The kid thinks he's been open 90% of the time, and
Yeah, he's
maybe
calling
it's
for the ball.
only, yeah, maybe it's only 70% of the time. Either way, he's 6'4". Throw him the damn ball and let's see if
Throw
he
him the
can
ball.
fight for it.
Throw
Throw
him.
him the ball. And I'd rather see you throw him the ball and the ball get picked off. That's right, Steelers Nation. I'd say even if it gets picked off, but at least let's start the chemistry somewhere, somehow.
Well,
Throw the man the ball. You didn't
that's
even throw it to Clay's Chapel.
No.
right.
Do it to Deontay and
But you know
Najee.
what?
That's about it. And
Ben made a
Fryer.
living. Ben made a living. He had receivers that would go up and make the play for him. He just put it in the place. They would make the play. You got to rely on your players to make plays too. So I don't know if that's Canada. I don't know if it's Mitch. I don't know if it's Tomlin. I don't know. But we all know that they got to start throwing the ball down the field,
Yeah,
even
let's
if it's a pass interference penalty. Let's get
let's
something going.
let's put it this way. If you're not allowing a 6-year vet to call an audible, JT, I'm not putting the blame on Mitch at this present time and
No.
moment.
No.
I'm putting
Not
it
at
on
all.
Canada because
Yeah.
you're not putting your quarterback in the right position to succeed. And you can't tell me with the number of weapons that we have on this team that you cannot find somebody open. There's not an
Yeah.
NFL defense in the league today that can cover 5 solid weapons. It's
Yeah.
just not there.
You're basically having Mitch running into a burning house without a fire hose.
Or a mask or an oxygen tank
Yep.
or a helmet. He's not even OSHA certified.
I mean, I wasn't going in all the fire department technicals here. I was just making an analogy, TA. But I mean, it's ridiculous. Nobody can see the defense better than the quarterback. Nobody.
Right.
Why
That's
not
not-
trust him? If he's your starter and he's the guy you want to go with, then you need to be all in or all out. You're either in with Mitch or you're out. If you're out, then it's time to move on. Let's play the kid then. If that's what you're ultimately doing and you're trying to make Mitch fail to just ultimately bring Kenny in, then just do it now.
All right. Then, Freight Train, what's your key to victory? What do we have to do to win this game?
A lot of stuff.
Okay,
A lot
moving
of
on.
stuff.
JT, what's your key to victory? And it's got to beat a lot of stuff because a lot of
Yeah.
stuff is a lot of stuff.
We got to be a lot of stuff. Can I pick a 2-prong approach?
Go for it.
Yeah.
It's your show.
I'll read it. Nah, it's our show. Anyhow, we got to stop the run. Duh. We got to stop the run, and we've got to go downfield. We've got to score more than 17 points. That's my key. What do you think, TA?
I tell you what, I probably couldn't have said it better. If we don't stop the run and make them one-dimensional, this is going to be an ugly Thursday night game. And the other, you're absolutely right. If we cannot stretch the field, get them out of the box, it's going to be a long night. And by God, I'm going to be up there at First Energy Stadium, and you're going to hear me yelling through the TV screen. I'm just telling you right now, Steelers Nation, if you see 00 getting dragged off the field, that's who I am.
Here's
There's
another.
my key to victory.
What are you going to be screaming?
Oh,
Kenny,
Kenny. Look,
Ah,
No. I'm not going to be the one who's screaming Kenny because Kenny does not need to come into this offense. If Canada cannot manage it, why would we want to put our future in jeopardy? Let's think about that. Why would we put him in jeopardy when we know what the problem is?
I've been saying that.
It's not going to change a stinking thing. It's going to slow Kenny's progression as a football player.
And we already have one of those quarterbacks who had his progression slowed down by a gentleman named Nagy.
Yeah.
So let's not do it to the kid. Let's be realistic here.
Right. Can I say my actual key to the game?
You did. It said a lot.
No, that's not it. It is a lot. But my
Oh.
main key to the game is we have to win the time of possession battle. We have to stay on the field to keep that running attack on the sidelines. The longer we're out there, the less time they're out there. And
True.
we got to help this defense. The defense was on the field way too long last week.
And in black jerseys and the sun and the heat. So
Yeah.
they just wore out. Hey, Larry, thanks for listening in, man. He's optimistic. Larry says he's gonna have we're gonna win, buddy. So hope you're right, man. Thanks for watching, Larry.
All right, then. This is the moment of truth, man. What's the game projections,
All
JT?
right.
Because Freight Train's been chomping at the bit all night. I know Freight Train's got his number ready.
Yeah. Well, I hate to do this, but I'm just not on a short week coming off all these problems that have kind of surfaced. It's early yet, and I'm not panicking, but I think the Browns have the edge at home up against, to go 3 games in a row, to beat them 3 games in a row with where they're at now with our team without TJ. I'm saying 24-13 Browns. Pittsburgh gets 2 field goals and managed to score a touchdown, probably by the defense. But anyhow, I'll go ahead and
Freight
use
Train.
CJ. All right, go ahead. CJ gave his too, so we can get that at the end.
Oh, he
But
did? What did CJ tell us?
CJ picked the Browns 23-17.
Ooh.
Yeah.
He's going to make it tough on me because right now, JT, we're 1-1 and you guys are 0-2.
I'm 0-ing. I'm over. So
Yeah. So, okay, Freight Train, what do you got rolling here?
I'm going to go with 14-13 Steelers. Browns are going to miss another extra point, and they're going to run their kicker out of town.
what is the over-under on this game? Anybody see?
4.5.
38.5, and the Browns are 4.5-point favorites at home.
Well, that gives you 37.
I would definitely take the under on that one.
That shows you how much love they're giving us right now in Vegas. They think that we're a shit show, JT.
Yeah. So what do you think, man?
Well, I'll tell you what. I think that we already have the winning formula in stopping the run. And I think that we are as healthy is going to be to stop the run.
True.
And I think in the last 2 games, we've really done our best to contain the run. So I'm looking for them to build on that and continue to stop the run with this 2-headed monster and make Jacoby beat us and be one-dimensional. And I'm almost, there's a part of me that thinks that Mitch is actually going to take this to heart and he's going to sling it. He might throw an interception or 2. It might look ugly, but I'm going to go ahead and go out on a limb here. And I'm going to say the score is going to be Steelers 27-24.
Wow.
Oh, way over.
Any defensive touchdowns?
I'm counting on 1.
And
Because
he's-
if we're going anywhere this year, we're gonna live and die on our defense like we did when Mason and Duck were at the helm. The defense has got to come up strong.
Wow. 27 points from this offense.
It's going to be a shocker.
That's a lot.
Wow.
I'd love to see it. I hope so. Shane
Oh,
thinks
yeah.
the Browns are going to pull that one out 17-14. So
Shane, quit
Shane
listening to the show.
He's kidding,
That's
Shane, but not really.
yeah.
No, Shane, we appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, brother.
We're all
Hey,
friends here.
yeah.
No, we're not.
I'm just trying to sound good for the audience, TA.
As Garrett Webster say, work friends.
There
We're
we go.
friends. There
That
you go.
sums it up.
Get it right. Get it right. Well, hey, we're we're just up against the clock, man. Let's hit it real quick and then say our goodbyes. We got AFC North matchups this week. Everybody 1-1 except for Cincinnati. They're 0-2. So we got up Baltimore and the Patriots, and then Cincinnati taking on the Jets. So
Yep.
see how that plays out.
And we have to win because both of those teams will go ahead and win this week.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
Whoa.
What?
You just, Mr. Joe Magic Flacco is losing this week?
Yep. Joe Magic Flacco's losing this week.
Wow.
Think
He's
Joe
going-
Burrow gets it together? What?
Look, it's just another average Joe game. Joe versus Joe.
Was there a
it's
pun
just an
intended
average
there?
Joe game. You can
Was
take it how you want to take it, but it's an average Joe game. And the one Joe's getting tired of being beat up against the lockers. He's got to pull one out here sooner or later.
Sure.
Ah,
I'm sure he's still sore from that Steeler game.
Oh,
tell you.
yeah.
Well, hey, gentlemen, it's great to hang with you. Thank you guys for also listening in. Shane and Zach and let's
thanks,
see,
guys.
Larry. Appreciate it, guys. We'd love your support, man, and your input too. So tomorrow night, game time. I love it. Early. We don't have to wait till Wednesday. We got football tomorrow.
Woo!
I'm looking forward to it. Guys, been a good night. Good to be with you as always, talking Steeler football, Steeler Nation. Careful in the hot tub, man. We'll see you guys next time. We're out.
Steelers Nation, let's beat them brownies, baby. Hey, remember, life's a garden, dig it.
Steelers Nation, I will see you at First Energy, and we will bring the energy and rock the house and own that house like we have since inception, since 1999. Go Steelers.
Check back next week into the Steelers realm.